Okay, so a quick video on sharpening like a woodsman or any curved blade with a white ceramic rod. Uh, from all the cutting on elk antler the other day, I've got a small spot right in here, about finger width, that's not quite shaving. But I'm just going to go ahead and do the entire thing for you guys real quick. It only takes a couple minutes. Here we go. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see what I'm seeing. Um, Main thing, put the blade against something where it's not going to move a whole lot, where it's fairly stable. And I'm going to take the ceramic rod and I'm going to go back up along here, not the edge, but around here. I'm going to move back and forth until I can start to see the scratch lines, all right? Now, when I see the scratch lines, I know exactly where the ceramic rod is making contact. So I'm high, now I lower, and I slowly work scratch lines all the way to the surface. You're not pushing hard. Basically, all you're doing is polishing. A little high, and then work your way down. That way you're seeing exactly where your sharpener or your ceramic rod is making contact with metal. Get back up here, right there. And if you guys can see the scratches, what I'm doing is I'm bringing that line of contact right to the edge and just polishing it. Now, whenever I'm going to do the other side, before I do that, I'm going to want to, since I was sharpening on this side, I want to flip this over and feel if I can, there should be a slight burr. Very light there. I could probably do some more here. I have the burr there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and reverse this. This is a handy thing about kukri because it's bent. It lands right there, really nice. And I'm going to go ahead and start high again. Work my way down. Going down towards the quarter round, and I do that kukri curve. High, work my way up, right down into that edge. Just like that. Not pressing hard. Now, let me see if I can feel the burr on this side. And I can. Perfect. All right. More on this side. And I kind of get the feel for it now. I know where my ceramic rod is at. And again, nothing real heavy. You're basically just polishing the edge. All right, let me see if we got here. All right. Now, let's take a look. You could always go with a little bit of leather. A little leather on to, strop it if you want to. Let's see what we got. Well, I think that's good enough. All right, guys. Super simple. Don't be worried about the curve. Start high, watch your scratches, bring it over to where it kisses the edge, feel for the burr, and repeat on the other side. And then the knife is absolutely hair shaving sharp. Hi guys, so my gimbal's not working really good today, so I have to hold it by hand. Sorry about that.
If you guys follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen these projects as I've been working on them. However, if you haven't, I'm going to show you guys here real quick. All right, first off is a cross out of elk antler and some braided necklace here. I used the Woodsman to kind of curve and round and size the cross. I used the little drill bit in my sewing kit to put the hole in right through there, and a little bit of sandpaper. You guys saw me in a previous video carving out this H for my daughter's bracelet. Of our uncle, or he's my uncle, had a couple walking sticks that he gave to us, and he passed several years ago. I actually made a chess set out of the rest of the walking sticks. One was out of dogwood, the other one out of hickory. And there was some wood left, so I made my daughter some a bracelet with some beads out of those, or what was left of those two sticks. This is hickory. This one was soaked in the vinegaroon, and then dogwood, hickory, dogwood all the way around. And then this is another piece of dogwood soaked in the vinegaroon again. Really happy how that turned out. It's got some nice bright colors for her. The other thing I was working on, I had a piece of eucalyptus branch, cut off a section of it, and then turned that into a ring using the Woodsman. Oop, pick that back up. Really happy how this turned out. It's the eucalyptus is fun to carve. It's tight grain, but it turned out pretty cool. And if you guys can see here, if I can get this to focus, there we go. I did inlay the fish symbol. There's 4 of them. Cut out the inlay with the Woodsman and then filled it up with eggshell. I had taken saved some eggshell after breakfast one day, put it in the oven for a little while just to dry it out, and then soaked it in the vinegaroon for, I think, most of a day. Dried it back out again, and then crushed it up. So that's all this is crushed eggshell. And then after I had cut in the design, put a little bit of super glue into the grooves and put it into the powder, and then sanded off the excess after it dried. And you get this really cool kind of eggshell, there we go, eggshell like mosaic. So that was a lot of fun. The other thing was a little bit more practical. I needed a new coffee maker. So the other day when I was down at the creek, I salvaged a log, split it up, and made this. So this is my little coffee pot, and you guys have seen me do the pour through before. The bag goes in here with the coffee, you pour it through, it goes here. Well, the base has got a groove in it now, so that can't slide off. And using the Woodsman, I cut out the hole here, and then using the saw, you guys can see here, did a dovetail. Let's see if I can bring that into focus. There we go. Did a dovetail cut there, and then also did a dovetail cut there with the saw. It's held in place by pressure and some wood glue. Really happy how that turned out. And then I found a spray finish, acrylic, to seal everything up so it doesn't get nasty from like coffee dripping on it. You have to excuse the scratches. This was I used that piece as a cutting board for a couple months while I was doing carvings and stuff like that before I decided to turn it into the coffee maker. But all of these projects, um, all the cutting and stuff like that, were done with the Woodsman, except for the beads, because I was just trying to save the Woodsman. When I use the saw on it, it takes a 1/4 inch sloth or swipe through, so I used a thinner saw to save as much wood as I could because there wasn't very much left. But all the design work and everything completely done with the Woodsman. And so this is what I've been up to. One other thing that I made was this little carving glove. As you can see, it kind of covers the palm here and the thumb. I just use that little piece of string to tighten it down. And it's just a precaution thing because most of the time I'm grabbing here, and when I'm carving, I'm bringing the edge in. So this kind of protects my thumb just in case I put too much pressure in it or the wood gives away. And on the other side, it actually protects my palm against the edge just in case. Better safe than sorry. And I say this is just like a throwaway pair of garden gloves that I modified. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little compilation video on sharpening and some of the latest projects I've been working on. Um, Up and coming, I've got a 1 year review of my Tough Possum Shackleton satchel, and I'll get to that here in the next day or so. But until then, stay safe, take care, and God bless.